Hi, this is Dave Marcus, your Saskatchewan provincial broker, and this is Contracts 101, How to Write an Amendment to a Residential Contract. So, throughout the course of doing a transaction, it's pretty common to end up with having to make some changes along the ways, and the document you do that with is going to be your amendment. So, first off, the parties involved are at the top: Bonnie and Barry Byer, Steve and Sally Seller. That hasn't changed. The date, I'm doing this in web forms and just thought it would be good to point out that even though web forms pulls over some of the information from your other documents, it doesn't pull over all of the information. So this this is a good example. I have this amendment in a file where the date of the original contract is already in there, but web forms hasn't carried it over. So make sure you've got something in there. I'm going to say this offer was originally written on the 2nd of December. It has pulled over my document number, though, DM1201, just because that's the document number that matches the contract purchase. The address, 706 Express Ave, the legal description, that stuff was pulled over automatically. But again, double check. You do need that in the amendment, so make sure that's there when you're doing the document. Now, I've got a number of different things I'm changing here just to show you that there's lots of variety in what you can do with an amendment. Keeping in mind, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things on this amendment. You could write 6 different amendments. Lots of deals have more than one amendment. That's fine. Generally, if you are changing things at the same time, it's easier to do it on one document. But we might change something today, and then 2 days from now, we might change something different. In that case, you might have 2 documents, or 3, or 4. Um, but the first thing we're changing on this sample amendment is we're changing Barry Byer's name. So it turns out Barry Byer spells his name a little differently than we thought. And the mortgage company said, hey, hold on, you spelled it wrong, and we got to fix it. So we're changing the buyer name from Barry Byer with a Y to Barry Byer with an IE, just to clarify stuff. Um, Second thing, the mortgage broker in this case told us, hey, Barry and Bonnie can't buy this house without dad on the deal. So we're adding Perry purchaser also as a buyer. So from this point forward, we're going to have 3 buyers on this transaction. Anything that was signed up until this document would only have the 2 signatures, Barry and Bonnie. Anything signed after this document is going to have 3 signatures on it now, Barry, Bonnie, and Perry. And this document, the original buyers that were on the deal, Barry and Bonnie, are the only 2 that are going to sign this amendment. There is no requirement for the new buyer to sign it because until it's signed, he's not a buyer. However, that being said, I know some brokerages and some people like to see that on there. So nothing wrong if you have all 3 sign it, but from a legal perspective, it should only require the 2 that were buyer prior to the execution of the document. After the document is executed, then Perry will need to sign anything else going forward. We are also amending the price in this case. So the price was $281,000. We're just changing it now. Says price to be $279,000. We're just saying that, hey, the home inspection was done. They were renegotiating, and this was an adjustment. You'll note also best practice. Put your whenever you're writing numbers, we've got the numbers in numerical format as well as we've got them in written words. So 279,000, 279,000. It's nice and clear. Um, a couple more things we're amending. After the home inspection, they figured out, hey, there's some TV mounts in the house and we want them, and it wasn't in the original deal. So here's a way that you would clarify something in the deal. It just wasn't in the original offer. Now we're including it in the amendment, so it's clear to all parties that all TV mounts remain. All holes in bedroom walls to be patched and painted prior to possession. These would be terms of the offer. While the TV mounts are inclusions, the holes being fixed would be a term of the offer, not a condition. And lastly, my counteroffer said the dog was included. Turns out the dog has now passed away, so the dog is no longer included in the sale. So here's 6 different things that you might run into, in the course of dealing with your transaction, whether it's misspellings, whether it's adding people to the deal, whether it's adjusting prices, whether it's adding or subtracting inclusions, whether it's changing conditions or terms. All of those things can be addressed on your amendment. So then lastly, we need to include who and when the document was signed. Whenever you see this AM, PM drop down menu, you know that the that they're looking for time, not location. So signed at 2 p.m. On the 6th of December. So Bonnie and Barry would sign this, possibly also Perry. Um, and the sellers are going to sign it. All parties need to sign this amendment. And once it's signed, then everyone's handing it into their brokerage. The mortgage broker's getting a copy. The lawyer's going to get a copy with conveyance. Everybody, it's part of the deal. It just makes some adjustments for you. So that's the way an amendment works. Looking forward to reviewing all your contracts. Thanks.